preparing. We're getting there.
Mhm.
I think we're good. Check our website, and I think we're good to go.
Are we all set?
A second, just checking one more spot
Okay.
here.
We're in no rush.
I wish this was easier.
So much for technology making life
I
easier.
know, right? It's supposed to make things faster and more efficient. isn't it?
Okay, we're good to go now.
All right, we're good, Joe.
Ready? Okay. Good afternoon. Let the record reflect it is now 1:02 p.m. My name is Joseph Mayer, and we are conducting a hearing this afternoon on behalf of the Broome County Local Development Corporation pursuant to, I was looking for a number here, section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended with respect to the issuance of continuing care retirement community revenue refunding bonds, series 2021, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $55,550,000. The acceptance of filing by the Broome County Local Development Corporation does not infer any position on the approval or disapproval of the financial assistance requested. No position will be taken by the Broome County Local Development Corporation until the public hearing is concluded. A copy of the application is available at the offices of the Local Development Corporation. Notice of this hearing was published in the Press and Sun Bulletin on October 4th, 2021. I request that each person wishing to speak state his or her name, and if you are speaking on behalf of an entity or organization, please identify that entity or organization. I request that each person limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes, period. The hearing will remain open until all public comment is concluded. First, I'm going to ask Stacy Duncan, Executive Director of the Broome County Local Development Corporation, to explain the financial assistance that has been requested by Good Shepherd Village at Enwell, Inc.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I'll give a brief overview of Good Shepherd Village and then the project description. Good Shepherd Village at Enwell was founded by FGS, or Fairview Good Shepherd Inc., doing business as Good Shepherd Communities, which is also the parent organization of Good Shepherd Fairview Home. Good Shepherd Fairview Foundation Inc., DBA Good Shepherd Communities Foundation, Chase Memorial Nursing Home Inc., DBA Chase Health Rehab and Residential, Chase Memorial Community Center, and Chase Housing. The village is the first and only fee-for-service continuing care retirement community licensed by the New York State Department of Health under Article 46A of the New York State Public Health Law. The village is located in Endwell, New York, approximately 8 miles west of Binghamton. It consists of 74 independent living cottage units, 80 independent living apartment units, 16 assisted living units, 16 memory care units, and 32 skilled nursing beds. Good Shepherd Communities is the sole member of the village. The project description for the purpose of the issuance of the tax exempt bonds is the project will consist of refinancing the existing debt of Good Shepherd Village at Endwell Incorporated of approximately $39,100,000 and to borrow additional funds for renovation to the facility and pay closing costs, the aggregate of which is not to exceed $16,450,000, the final amount to be determined.
Thank you, Stacy. All right, is there anyone who wishes to speak either for or against this project and the financial assistance requested?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Done.
Well, I would like to speak.
And would you state your name for the record, please?
Why, certainly. My name is John Solak. I live in Binghamton, and I'm speaking for the long-suffering citizens of Broome County. This is a refunding of a prior refunding for 20 million or so less, but it nevertheless is a refunding of a refunding. Now, I note that Mr. Keenan said, I think at the governance meeting, that this was one of the most successful communities of its type. And that statement piqued my interest because, as Stacy stated, it's the only one of its type. So I'd like to know what other communities he was talking about. And I'd like to know how he defines success. It's been very successful for him and the other person, highly paid person in the administration. His pay package, his total pay package, Mr. Keenan's total pay package has went from 380,000 in a few years to 509. That puts him just below Harvey Stanger at the university and a few $100,000 shy of leading one of our healthcare big hospital organizations. So one of the highest paid institutional positions in Broome County, $509,000. When you look at the amount of people that it serves, that is a big, fat payday. Further concerning, speaking of success, defining success, 2017 and 2018, we have $13 million, $12 million each of losses in those years. That's before COVID. That's loss. That's a loss. That's not success. So this is very troubling. I've called this a legal Ponzi scheme, and I would point to their financial statements that indicate that on their liability side and what they consider part of the permanent capitalization is $28 million in residency deposits, 28 million, part of their capital structure that can only, and this is their words, normally be paid off by new residents. So 28 million on the books that can only primarily, normally be paid by new residents. That to me is a Ponzi scheme. One would want to know if any of this refunding is going to pay off people because of the lack of new residents. I might also bring up at this point the unpleasant subject of the last refunding and the interest rate swaps. This organization engaged in a Mississippi riverboat gamble, almost $2 million worth of highly speculative interest rate swaps, and it got bitten. So there it is. the chief executive makes way too much money, way too much money. His pay increases are astronomical, just looking at the size of the organization. 28 million liability. How are they going to get out of that eventually? What's the exit strategy, except for hoping for new residents? And that's all I have to say. I believe that this will be, as I interpret it, since it's not a debt of the state of New York and it's not a debt of any municipal government, I assume that the local development corporation is on the hook should any kind of restructuring occur. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Solak. Does anyone else wish to be heard?
Yes, this is Mike Keenan. I'm President and Chief Executive Officer, representing Good Shepherd Village at Endwell. I want to thank the board of the LDC for holding this hearing and placing us on the agenda. As I said, I think Good Shepherd Village at Endwell, Inc. has been a huge success for the people who live in Broome County, for the residents who are here. We have well over 500 days of cash on hand. Our organization is extremely fiscally strong. We actually had a phone call with Fitch's rating company last week, and we are on Thursday going to be notified by Fitch, but they intend to rate us either at a double B minus or double B plus or a triple B minus, which is an investment grade rating that tells investors how strong we are financially. Occupancy is good. We are currently at about 90% or 96% occupied in our independent living. Our healthcare buildings are 100% occupancy. At the worst in COVID, we went down to about 89, 88, 89, and we have since recovered. This has become the retirement facility of choice in Broome County. And as I said before, there are 12 life care communities in New York, 3 of which are in peril. 1 already went bankrupt, 2 are in peril. They have all been here, and they are in process of beginning to model and offer the contracts that Good Shepherd Village at Endwell did. So I do think it's a success. My board is very responsible. When it comes to senior management salaries, every 2 years, my board hires a firm out of New Jersey, and they do a salary study of organizations with comparable numbers of bed, comparable assets, and comparable revenue generations. And the board makes salary determinations for senior management personnel based on those studies. And those are done every 2 years. So I want to thank the LDC for giving me this opportunity to speak. And once again, I want to say what a great asset Good Shepherd Village is to the community.
Thank you, Mr. Keenan. Does anyone else wish to be heard? Natalie, is there anyone else in the audience or in the waiting room?
There's not.
I'm sorry?
There's not. You can proceed.
There's
Oh,
no.
Joe, there's no. Right.
All right, if there's no one else in the waiting room at this time, and let the record reflect it is currently 1:14 p.m. again on October 18th, 2021. I am going to call this hearing to a conclusion, and I'm going to request that the affidavit of publication in the Press and Sun Bulletin and the affidavit of posting of the notice of this hearing on the website of the Broome County Local Development Corporation be spread upon the record of these proceedings and A transcript of this hearing will be prepared and provided to the members of the LDC prior to Wednesday's meeting at 12:30 PM, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's
There will
Wednesday,
Be prior to,
October 20th at 12:30 PM. All right. Is there anything else for the record? Kevin, do you have copies of the affidavits of publication and posting?
I do.
Okay. All right. If you need anything, Kevin, just contact me, and per usual, I will ask you to expedite this this transcript for us.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
have a good day.